Welcome back to another episode of Called to Chaos.
Hey guys, happy Friday.
How's your week been?
It's been pretty good. I'm like, what happened this week? We prepped for Easter.
It's been a blur.
Yeah, it's been a blur. But in what we do, ministry, Easter is a really big deal, obviously.
Mhm.
And so we did a lot of prepping for Easter this week, along with our normal life.
We did.
So what was the most chaotic part of your week this week?
Easter prep.
For sure.
I think it's always a blur. I love it. We talked about how every weekend when you're in ministry is the Super Bowl, but
Mhm.
Easter weekend, what's bigger than the Super Bowl? Somebody said like the World Cup or
Oh, there you go.
that's
Like the Olympics.
yeah,
Maybe.
that's a good one.
The Olympics.
So, the Olympics is our Easter and Christmas. And so I think just the chaos of tight packing the auditorium, doing all the normal weekly things that we have to do on top of getting the lobby ready, decorating for
Yep.
Easter, photo ops. It's just very chaotic. And then trying to fit in energy
Yep.
to spend time with the family
Right.
and that sort of
It's a
stuff.
lot.
And so the whole week was just chaotic, but I love every second. It'll be worth it.
Yeah. No, I agree. Mine this week, I think we are in club volleyball for my daughter who's 15. And we have 2 back-to-back out of city tournaments. One's in San Antonio and then one's in Missouri, in Kansas City, Missouri. So we're trying to figure out where we're going to stay at. So we have to take turns because I work on the weekends. So I'm taking her next weekend. My husband took her this weekend with my mother-in-law, but we hadn't booked anywhere to stay for any of them yet because that's just how we are. We wait till the very last minute.
Yeah.
And I think somebody asked, you didn't know my parents, I think, they didn't have blocked out hotels for you guys? I said, yeah, but like 5 months ago, and it's back to back. So we were in New Orleans, and then they sent the hotel block for San Antonio. I'm like, we just spent all this money in New Orleans. I don't got the money to be blocking a hotel now, putting money on that too.
Yeah.
So we just have to wait and budget for it. That was really chaotic because Ella was all stressed out. Like, where are we going to stay? I'm like, you're not going to stay on the streets.
We're
It's
not
gonna
pitching
be
a tent.
right. It's going to be fine. We will figure it out. So
Yeah.
that was a little bit crazy, but it's fine.
Yeah.
She's not sleeping on the street.
She's not.
No.
How are they doing?
They're doing good so far. They started yesterday, won one, and they lost the first ones, but then won the rest. I haven't got an update yet this morning.
Will she play tomorrow as well?
She will. I'm not happy about that.
Yeah.
Playing on Easter, which
Yeah.
we weren't really aware of when we signed up for club for this particular team. And that's kind of been something to wrestle with too.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't quite understand why
Mhm.
we don't agree with it. Like she knows, but it's like, it's one weekend. It's Easter, Ella.
Easter's
Do you know what
once
your
a
mom
year.
does? First
Yeah.
of all, even if I wasn't a pastor,
Right.
Easter is once a year, and it's something that our whole family goes to. Really, the validity behind us being a Christian, like
Right.
believing in Jesus, rose from the dead, and that's why we're celebrating Easter.
Yeah.
And so, we're definitely changing some things for next year.
Yeah.
But she loves it, so
Got to fulfill the commitment for this year.
That's
and
right.
Move on.
that's right.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's fine.
So we should update everyone about our date night last week.
Last week.
Yeah.
So to recap, if you didn't hear, Helen and I planned a date night
We did,
for
yeah.
our husbands and
A double date.
a double date. Yeah,
Yeah.
a double date, which we haven't done in a long time. And we haven't done anything like this where we're just like, hey, we're surprising you. We're not telling you where to go.
Right.
So we didn't tell what we were doing. We didn't tell them anything really. And we just said, okay, we're going somewhere. We kind of told him like, I told Matt that he was like, what do I wear? I was like, I was wearing jeans and just a comfy shirt and tennis shoes. And so that's typically his data form anyways.
Right.
So he was fine.
Well, Gary asked days in
Gary-
advance,
Yeah.
what do I need to wear? What all of these things. And I said, I can't tell you anything.
Yeah.
And so the night of, he comes to me while I'm getting ready. And I was also just wearing what I wore that day,
Yeah.
just jeans and a t-shirt. And he said, is what I'm wearing okay? And I looked at him and he was fine. He was wearing like a t-shirt
Mhm.
and jeans, which I think he wore to work that day.
Yeah.
So that's why that's fine. I had no idea.
She probably didn't even look at him.
I
Not his
just,
feet.
not his feet. I wasn't thinking, I just was, you don't got to be dressed up
Right.
is really where my mind was going.
Yeah.
And so I didn't even think about it till we arrived.
It was so funny. So we went to this place called Activate.
Yeah.
And they're all over the place. So if you need somewhere fun to go, they're all over the place. We went to one about 45 minutes from us in South Lake, but it's an active thing. So it's not like super active. Like you're not like sweating.
Oh,
I guess you could, but you didn't have to be like in short, like athletic shorts or anything. Like
you don't
could,
have to wear athletic clothes.
but Gary comes rolling up in these boots, these like dress boots. And he was like, what are we doing? And I said, what are you wearing?
I didn't mean to. To be fair, I didn't look at his feet at all.
I figured you probably didn't.
I was just assuming that he could wear jeans and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I didn't. I thought he had shoes on, not boots.
Yeah.
What was he thinking?
I don't know.
It's spring. Boots aren't even in style right now. Get with the program.
But it was super fun. He was fine.
He was fine.
He probably been more comfortable.
His feet did hurt.
He's like, my toes hurt.
Yes, because some of the stuff is, jumping from one
tile to a tile. On colors.
Trying to get the colors. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun, and then we went to eat afterwards. Rock and Brews, I think, was the place. And just a typical Friday night restaurant.
Yeah.
Terrible service.
It was terrible service, y'all.
I've been a waitress, so I have a lot of grace for people who are in the serving industry. I promise you guys, I chalk it up. I will be the devil's advocate and say, well, it's not their fault. They've got this story about and this and that and the third. There was literally no excuse.
Yeah. There was just no service.
No, she didn't even talk to us.
Yeah,
we sat there for 20 minutes waiting for our water. Then another 20 minutes waiting for our appetizer.
Yeah.
She just kept disappearing.
Yeah, she did.
And they weren't even that busy.
No.
Not on our side of the restaurant. So I don't recommend that on a Friday night for sure.
No. Maybe it's got a bad night. I don't know. But Activate was super fun.
Activate was a blast.
Well, we're going to post kind of like some parts of it.
We already
stories.
posted.
Oh, did you post it?
Yes.
Okay. So go check it out.
They should be able to see it. Well, it was going to be in stories. So.
Okay. We could repost it.
Yeah, we could do double stories.
Yeah, double stories. It's fun. So if you need something fun to do, even with your teams at work.
Yeah. Which they do team building events. I saw that
on
the website.
Even your kids.
Yeah.
I think our kids would freaking have a blast.
I wouldn't be able to keep up with my kids in there.
No, but we could just let them go though.
That's true.
Because it's super safe.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, they can't go anywhere, which is great too. As a mom who gets, I get freaked out when my kid can't see my kid. But it's also a good thing. Like we could take the kids in the summer maybe one day.
Yeah.
Just let them go at it.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend.
Me too. Same. And if you have any recommendations of other fun places.
Yes. Tell us all your date night ideas.
I want to do something crafty.
Me too.
I want to go to candle making or rug making or.
Rug making?
You've seen the
I've never seen rug making.
No, for real. We'll have to look it up after this. You poke and pull out.
Really?
It's kind of like painting
with
a
twist,
where they'll already have the pattern, and then you just use this hook and yarn, and you just kind of create this.
That's cool.
It's a rug, but it can also be a wall hanging.
Yeah. I love board and brush.
I do too.
Just gets. I mean, those things do get expensive though.
They do get expensive, but it's my.
But it's something that you can keep it forever.
Because I love to do that kind of stuff at home, even if I can, and so I think that'd be a fun date. We've done cooking before.
Literally to say that. Yeah, if you've never been to the cookery in Fort Worth,
it
is so much fun.
Yeah,
it is so much fun.
That was a good time because I don't like to cook in general at home. Mostly because it makes a mess, and I spent many years of my life as a stay-at-home mom having to cook, and so I just don't enjoy cooking now. And so that was an enjoyable cooking experience because everything was cleaned up for you, and you just got to do it and sample.
And they do wine tastings with it too, and you could bring is BYOB too. So it was just fun. It's family style, so not only you're with your people, but you're with other people too.
Yeah,
and so you're just cracking up and making jokes and just having fun, all cooking this one big meal together,
and got to meet some really cool people.
Yeah. And typically, you wouldn't really love that kind of thing. But I think because we're all together, it was super fun. Yeah.
I don't know that I would have felt comfortable going there for the very first time with just Gary and I, if it was both of our first time. But since you had been there before, you were there with me, my emotional support friend. Third episode in a row, we talked about that. And then we had other friends too. So that helped it. I would be able to go back just Gary and I now since I'm a little more familiar with it. Yeah. That takes the anxiety out of it for me, which is so silly.
That's not silly.
But yeah, so typically no. But I do like meeting new people. I just don't like talking first.
Yeah, which is understandable.
So if someone's not going to approach me, I'm probably not going to approach them, which happens quite often in public places.
So if you have date night ideas, please give them to us. We told the guys that it's their turn. We need to hold them to that. We need a date.
Oh, that's a good point.
We need to have a date to where they're going to do it.
After Easter for sure.
Yes.
For a rested, let's go have fun. Yeah. But they better plan something we'll like.
Exactly. They're supposed to. So they're about to plan something next. that they take us to, and then
Yeah.
we'll just kind of go back and forth. I think it's super fun.
We'll tell you all about that
We'll
too.
tell you about it.
Last week we talked a little bit about mom fails, and I was reminded of my biggest mom fail last night while talking to a friend. Let me ask, or let me just have you think about this because I'm going to ask Barbara, but you guys think about this. How many times have you ever had to call 911?
I think, yeah, I don't even, maybe once.
Yeah.
Yeah, because on for Hayden, I wasn't there, so I didn't
Right.
call.
Right. So I've never called 911
Yeah,
intentionally. I never want to call 911.
it's a lot.
There is something about calling. Wait, have I called it for something at church? I did last year.
We did.
Called,
Did.
I was the one that
Yep.
called 911.
Yep.
Okay, so to be fair, that one didn't involve myself,
Your
my
kids.
family, kids, any of that. It was just a church one, so I was a little bit easier to be calm.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of us in there.
Right. But I think 911 is just scary to call because you just think, I don't want to overreact. I don't want them to come out here for no
Yeah.
reason, that sort of thing. And so I've never had to call it when it comes to my family, even though I found out I probably should have. So biggest mom fail. Dixon was probably 6 months old, a baby, fourth kid, to be fair. And he was born pretty much allergic to the world.
Yeah.
So he was born and had congestion all the time, had a cough, not a cough, but just always had some sort of something snotty, just his whole infancy. I used to think it was because he had older siblings and they were bringing home a bunch of stuff, but
It's just who he was.
now I just realize he still has allergies to
Yeah.
everything. And so he was having a day where he was extra congested and we went to church and he slept all through the service laying in the pew and he just kept sleeping all day. And I said, man, he must be going through a growth spurt because he is just sleeping all day.
Mhm.
And he would wake up and eat, whatever. Well, at about 6 o'clock at night, I noticed that through his congestion, it looked like he was breathing kind of weird, like deep breaths every breath rather than normal. And
Yeah.
so I took a video and sent it to my sister. And her husband's a firefighter, so he's a paramedic, and he told her to tell me to call 911. I was like, well, I'm probably not going to do that. So I sent the video to a friend who's a nurse,
Mhm.
ER nurse. And she also says, Helen, you should probably call 911. Like you don't play with
Right.
kids and their breathing. And I'm just looking at my baby. He's fine. He's not crying. He's sleeping. I said, we're not going to be dramatic. Let's just drive him to the urgent care.
Yeah.
So we put him in the car, drive him down to urgent care, and urgent care triages him and says, yeah, he needs to go straight to Cooks. Like,
Oh my goodness.
we should probably just put him in an ambulance.
Yeah.
And I'm still just like, guys, an ambulance? That's expensive.
Yeah. That's so true.
So I say, can we just drive him? And the nurse was like, you can, but you have to go right now. Like, you have to do it now. And I'm like, I mean, literally, I don't know why, with as anxious as I am, that I
I
wasn't.
know, it's so surprising to me.
I go into denial, I think, right? Like,
I guess.
I just don't want to process that something could actually be wrong.
Yeah.
And so we get him to Cooks and his oxygen is just so low. Apparently, breathing issues with infants is a big deal. And so they were like, he's been sleeping all day because he's using every ounce of energy he has to try to breathe.
Poor baby.
And I was like, oh my word. And I just felt terrible. And he has continued to, well, he has a little touch of asthma now, or allergy induced asthma. And so he gets breathing issues often. And ever since then, I look for the retractions in his collarbone area and his stomach. And he's 11 now. And I still get pretty worried when his oxygen goes down low because of that.
Well, it's like PTSD.
Yeah,
It absolutely is for real.
it is.
And then you got me watching us breathing too, and she's not there.
Because it's scary now.
Yeah.
Especially because we have one of those pulse ox things and you put it on his finger when he's not breathing great or having an asthma flare up and it's dropping down to like 80. And I'm like, what is happening? And I won't give him 5 breathing treatments in a row unsupervised like they do at the hospital. Not unsupervised, monitored by medical professionals because his heart rate goes up so high then. And then he's breathing heavy because his heart rate's
And
so
you
high.
know him best. So, but
Mhm.
that's also good for us to know that 'cause we can always, we're at different games and you're not there and
Yeah.
he's playing. I can watch it too. And so it goes back to having your village, man.
Yeah, but that was my true biggest mom fail. Not
I don't think that was a fail though. You feel like it was.
because
But man, but especially when they're babies, you're exhausted.
yeah.
Your like train of thought's probably not even all that clear
Well,
anyways.
and like I said, he's
And you
the
didn't know.
fourth kid,
Exactly.
and so gone through so much other stuff, and especially
Right.
with Nyla Faith, I was so anxious with her. It was
Yeah.
just one of those things where I didn't have the energy to be as anxious with
Right.
it.
Because you're probably overly anxious with Nyla. So
I
you realize
was
there's a lot of things you probably like really didn't need to do. But
100%.
yeah. And so this time, the last one, you're like, it's not that big a deal.
Get off the floor,
Yeah. I mean, that's
dropped his
normal.
bean, pick it up, put it right back in his mouth.
Yep.
Didn't even blink an eye.
Yeah. Shoot. By the last baby, I was putting it in my own mouth and I put it back in his. It's fine.
I was just putting it straight in his, but he built that immune system.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so if you've ever done anything like that, I've also done that with my own husband before. I hate 911. I hate calls.
Well, it is a little scary. That means something's really bad's happening.
He was 29 and mowing the grass. Here he was. And he comes inside, and I guess he was just going to take a little break, go in the bathroom. And I'm in the kitchen. He yells my name and he says, "Come here." And I come to him, and he's standing like a statue in whatever position he was when he was walking towards the bathroom. And he said, "I can't feel my left hand."
Mm.
And I said, "What do you mean?" And so he said, "My left hand is numb." And he was like having chest pain.
Yeah.
He's 29. And so I texted a friend that's a nurse, same friend I texted about Daxton, but this with him was before the Daxton situation. Luckily, she's lived right down the street from us, and she said, "Well, I'm actually headed home. Like I can just pull in
Oh,
right
that's
quick
good.
and just look at him." And so she comes in to look at him and see how he's doing, and she's like triaging him from our living room. She said, "Helen, if you're not going to call 911, I will."
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, then do it."
Please do it.
Because I can't. So she did. She called 911. The ambulance came and got him, and he was having like a mild heart attack in the
Goodness
ambulance.
gracious.
And it was like a blockage that was small enough to get through. So they rush him to the hospital. They do an immediate angiogram, go in through the groin. They put him in in ICU. He ended up being fine, but he did get diagnosed with hemiplegic migraines, which mimic stroke symptoms. So he had that while he was in
That's
there.
terrifying.
I know. And then he never had another issue with one until 2024.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was wild. So I also, wife failed him. He was so concerned, and I'm like, "You're 29, you're young."
Like, this is actually not happening right now. You're
Right.
fine.
Right.
That's scary though.
All the medical things, you know?
That's so scary.
But luckily I had friends that were in the medical field that could just take over for me.
Something funny about that, since Matt's a firefighter paramedic, he tends to be the doctor of everything. People will call him for their kids. So he's a pediatric doctor for themselves. He's a normal doctor for their animals. He's a veterinarian as well.
That's funny.
So I bet your friend has those things too. Like for all the things people will call or send pictures. We had a friend that dropped a can of beans on her toe, like a giant, and it like broke her toenail. It looked terrible. And she's like, send a picture of it and everything. He gets pictures. What do I do with this? Do I need to go to the doctor, to the urgent care? And he was like, I don't know. Like you could.
That same friend. Gosh, I got a lot of stories about her. If you're listening and you know who you are, you know who you are. Or you will when I say the story. So we were like at our life group, which was going to be at a park. Kason was younger, maybe like 9 or 10. I don't know exactly. Maybe 8. He'd rise his bike off of like a ledge on accident and fell backwards and cracked his head open. She just glued it back shut.
Oh yeah. Awesome.
We didn't even go. She looked at him. He didn't have a concussion or any, like, I don't know what she did. To be fair, she was not just a regular nurse.
Yeah.
She actually
ER nurse.
flew in a helicopter, like care flight nurse. So she was like the type of person that was responding to critical life threatening.
See, they see all kinds of things.
Yeah. And so gluing my kid's head back together was nothing. She
Yeah.
had the whole kit and he was fine.
So funny. It's good to be friends with nurses. My sister-in-laws are nurses, but I haven't really needed them. But when I was pregnant with Nate, this is before I knew more about natural births and before I did natural birth with Hayden. And she is a wife of one of the firefighters, but she's a nurse.
Yeah.
So I remember she came over to our house one time to strip my membranes.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And then she brought me in the hospital where she works, in the back way to this random room and did it again.
That's amazing.
I know, to start contractions.
I
was like, it's good to know people.
She's who? Your sister-in-law?
No, she is one of the wives of the firefighters Matt works with.
Firefighter. Okay. That is also a little awkward. I was going to say sister-in-law, friend.
Not sister-in-law,
I had a friend that was a labor and delivery nurse, and I joked about wanting her to, not joked, I was dead serious. I mentioned please, with Nyla Faith, But then I'm glad I didn't have that because she ended up being emergency
Right.
C-section. It was one of those things where you're just so big and you just, please,
Like, just get it out.
I know she'll be fine if she's born today.
Yes. Yes. Kids.
She never would. Speaking of kids,
Yes.
we did a fun little
let's talk about it.
test with our kids. So there's this trending thing on TikTok, or maybe it's on other social media, where you send your kid a text message and you say, if you had to describe me to the police and you didn't have a photo of me, what would you say?
Yeah.
So I did that with 3 out of 4 of my kids, and you did that with yours.
I did. Yeah, I got all 4 of them finally.
Great. Let's hear it.
Okay. So Ella, who is 15, she said 5'8", dirty blonde hair, looks like a pastor.
Are you 5'8"?
Well, this is always debatable, y'all. I used to be 5'8".
Okay.
Okay. And everybody thinks I'm 5'8". When I actually tell them that the doctor says I'm like 5'7.5", nobody ever believes me. I don't even believe the doctor.
I don't think I do either.
I know. There's no way. That's what they say. They measure me, but my legs are so long, I usually look taller.
In comparison to Kason, how tall are you? Are you the same height as him?
No, he's taller than me.
Oh, he is? Okay, then maybe because
And I've shrunk. I'm
he's
almost
5'9".
positive. Yeah. I have
So-
scoliosis. And so I think as I'm getting older,
Yeah, you're losing
I'm shrinking
inches.
a little bit,
Well,
which
they
is really
say
sad.
that happens with every woman, to be honest,
Yeah.
or old people in general.
Man, it's just so sad. Hayden, he is our 8-year-old. He said a little bit tan. She has blonde hair, likes to wear a lot of jeans. She works at a church, so they could look there too. You got it. You got it. Okay. And then Grayson, he is our 13-year-old boy, a tall, white lady that has an army of kids with her 24/7. Blonde, tall, and white, laughs loud, annoying youngest son. That's his little brother. Crazy, funny sometimes, a big smile, in a church shirt. I'm not sure how I feel about these. I know, an army of kids
An army of
24/7.
kids.
I'm not going to lie, it's pretty true. And then Nate, the last one, Nate is 11, and he said, he wrote more. I didn't see that. He said, first he said crazy lady, and I was like, Nate, come on. Works at a church. Her name is Barbara. She has dirty blonde hair and has 3 sons and 1 daughter and a little wrinkles. We're going to have a discussion about that.
Rude.
We're going to have a discussion about that.
Never tell a woman she's got wrinkles.
And then he later on said, hee hee. He said, I will describe you and I'll just say she's the best mom ever and she's so pretty and she's a Christian.
Oh, so sweet.
Sweet.
That's great.
I know. Okay, what are yours?
I didn't text my oldest because she's
okay.
an adult, so she probably saw the trend and knew what we were doing.
Yeah.
Anywho, so my oldest boy, Kason, is 18. I assumed he would be the easiest, like the most descriptive, like to understand this a little bit more.
No, not so much.
His response literally, like all the H's.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even know. And then a cry face emoji. She's short and looks like a pastor. That's all I got
Oh my gosh.
from him. And so what does a pastor
I
look
was
like?
literally about to say that. What does a pastor look like? Because what I would think a pastor look like is not us.
Not us at all.
Not us at all.
No. So then my 11-year-old also began with the lots of H's. Brown hair with highlights, kinda. Very short. And very was all capitalized. Very short.
I'm sensing a theme.
Nose ring. Always wears a necklace with a G on it.
Okay.
Has her nails done and they're pink. Her race is white. She has green eyes. And she's very beautiful.
Oh, he would be the most descriptive.
It was Nyla.
That was Nyla. Oh,
Yes.
That makes sense. That was really good.
I said, okay, thanks, Nyla Faith. She knows she's got me clocked. Pink nails.
Literally. The
Always
G
wearing
necklace.
my G necklace.
It's all true.
But then she topped it off with that sweet, very beautiful. That was so kind. Daxton, my 11-year-old son, I would say that she is a brunette. She is 5'1".
5'1". How tall are you?
5'3.5".
Okay. You're taller than 5'1".
They all think I'm short.
I know.
She's 5'1" and she likes to dress out wherever she goes.
Dress out.
Dress out. I had to ask him later, what does dress out mean?
Yeah.
I said, what do you mean when you say dress out? He said, you always have to get dressed in an outfit. You always have to look like you're dressed to go anywhere.
This is true.
Thanks, Daxton.
That's so dressed out. I'm sure
Dressed
using
out.
that one.
She's going to dress out wherever she goes. That was fun.
That was fun.
If you need an idea to try with your kids, do
Yeah.
it.
If you have any more fun ones, we could do it with ours.
Yeah, that was so much fun. I love how different their responses were, but also how they all had the same theme that I was short.
Yeah. Mine was all white, blonde, and tall.
At one point, my kids would have said blonde, but I've been a
I
brunette
know.
for
I know.
a year and a half now.
Yep.
I love them so much.
So
I think Kason saying that I looked like a pastor was the most surprising
yeah,
because what does that even mean
I don't
to you?
know.
As I should have asked him, what do you mean by that?
I think he just didn't wanna think, so he just gave a blanket answer.
That's fair. He doesn't ever really want to think about anything,
Mhm,
to be fair. And I think he thought that if he answered that way,
mhm,
that it would end the question.
and it was
But
safe.
well, probably that's true. I want to know, like, would you actually say brown hair? Because here's the reality about Kason. His whole life, if he's ever had a friend or especially a girl that he likes, if I've asked him what does she look like, he
Mhm.
has never described them based on their appearance.
Really?
It's really weird.
Which I love that
I
though.
mean, I do too. As I'm
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
about
yeah, yeah,
deeper, but I would always just wonder, like, what do they look like?
yeah.
And so he would describe things like height,
Mhm.
like he did with me. He would describe height, and then he would say something along the lines of, she's really, really funny. She talks a lot, or just random things
Like
about
qualities of
the
a personality.
personality, never their ethnicity or their hair. Sometimes he would talk about eyes. So maybe he has a thing about eye. I don't know, but
That's so funny.
never really descriptive in appearance. Apparently, he doesn't care too much about that, or that's not something that's a big deal to him,
Yeah,
which is kind of cool. But
it
and
is, and I feel like he's attracted to all different. So maybe
literally,
that's like that makes sense.
when I tell you that kid, since he was old enough that you start getting crushes on girls
Yeah,
and started, they talk to girls, they don't have girlfriends.
right.
I mean, he has a girlfriend
I
now,
know.
but he just got a girlfriend. He just became a boyfriend for the probably the first real time. But he has dated or talked to Asians, white girls, black girls, mixed race girls, Hispanic girls, literally no type.
Yeah, yeah,
They're all vastly different. And I love it because that
I
probably
do too.
means that it's something personality
Mhm.
he's the most
Yeah.
attracted to.
What I love about him, just like from the outside, looking in, is that he's just so sweet. But he like also wears his heart on his sleeve.
Hmm.
And so, but he's very intentional.
Yeah, he
So
is.
you've taught him that really well, you and Gary, just about how he does things and how he thinks everything through. Even asking this girl to be his girlfriend was so
Thank
sweet.
you.
Like he's just so intentional. And I just love that because that's hard to find chivalry,
Oh,
right?
listen, that was
Like
the
he
one
has
thing
that.
when I became a boy mom and had 2 sons. I also have daughters, but
Right.
when I had him, my boy is going to know how to treat a woman. And so I've always modeled that for him in whatever it is, as far as if he gets a girlfriend and he's too young to have a job, but it's her birthday or
Hmm.
whatever it is, I'm going to help him make sure that she feels special because I want him to know that this is what you do. You find a way to make it happen. And so he does that. And
He's really good at it.
I love it. I hope Daxton continues the trend, but
Oh, he will.
he's not super into girls at this point. He has a crush apparently, but that's it. Like not really. He's a little bit later than his brother was.
Yeah. Hmm.
Nala Faith does have a little boyfriend. She's 13 and she's got a little boy that she's talking to. I don't know how I feel
I
about
don't
it
either.
because you can call somebody your boyfriend in middle school if you want to. You're not going on dates, right?
Hmm.
But she hasn't brought home any gifts from
Right.
him, so not that gifts are like the way.
Right. Sure. But like little things. I
Yeah.
think my question for other people that are watching or hearing would be like, what were your rules or guidelines for
Mhm.
dating and things like that? I've had to ask parents that were already in this. Ella's not really like, she was kind of interested in somebody, but she's so focused on academics and like her friends and volleyball right
Mhm.
now. She's just like, it's not worth it. That's fine. But one of our rules is you can't be in a text thread together, just you and that person. You can't just have a male and a female in a text thread together. They have to have
Yeah.
either another friend or a group text. And so that's something we're like, have been really big sticklers on. And I've caught on their phones a couple of times of like, this is our rule. This is like our rule. And so I'm always curious to see people have already gone through
Yeah.
this, what theirs have been. Cause I don't want to like be so hard and strict that they go around it, which Ella is too afraid to go around it.
Yeah.
She's like me. She is a rule follower when I was that age. Now
Yeah.
I'm like, I could push the boundaries. But her, no, she's which I love.
Well, I
So
think for the way we've always navigated it is I've never told my children they could never have a boyfriend. I've
mhm.
never been, because they start
They
thinking about that very
yes,
young. And so I've
yes.
never said, you're too young to have a boyfriend because calling somebody your boyfriend
Doesn't mean anything.
doesn't mean anything
Yeah.
at a younger age. So that's always been something I don't care. And I want them to talk to me about it. So I will talk about it.
Yeah,
Oh, you have
me
a
too.
crush on a boy? let's talk about it. And I would rather them be open and talking to me than me saying, you're not allowed to do
Mhm.
this. And then them feeling like they're doing it anyway and not open to talk to
Mhm.
me. And then going on an actual date where you're alone. I think our rule with our oldest daughter was 16. She was able to go on a date with him,
Mhm.
and of course we had her location, we tracked
Yeah.
everything, all of that. And so a lone date, if we know the boy and we trust it.
Obviously, make sure you meet him
Right.
and
And he had come to our home a couple of times before they ever actually
yeah.
went on a
That's a
date
big deal
together.
for us. You gotta come over to our
Yeah,
house.
we had to make sure we could trust him, and Gary and I both liked him, and so it was fine. Kaysen has I think he was 17 actually before he
Mhm.
ever went on an actual date with someone, and it was like the movies, and it was a group thing.
Right.
The phone situation, it's to me, is I never wanna put such strict rules in place that they are gonna do it anyway,
Mhm.
break a rule, find a way around it, feel like they have to rebel, and so we just put other apps where you can
Yeah.
see if they're texting anything they shouldn't be texting. I mean, I have blocks to where they can't use the Wi-Fi. I mean, not the Wi-Fi, the internet to search certain things. And
Yeah.
so that's why we do iPhones because if
Mhm.
I know the iPhone,
Yeah.
I know how to put that thing on lock and not allow access to certain
Mhm.
things. And I can do it right from my phone.
Right.
But I think for texting, like Nyla Faith definitely texts and FaceTimes with the little boy that she's
Mhm.
calling her boyfriend, and she's only 13. However, she talks to me about it and she'll
Yeah.
talk to him on the phone right in front of me.
Right.
And if I ever got a alert that anything was being talked about in that thread,
Yeah.
it'd be an
You would
instant,
know.
well, you're not going to talk to him anymore. We're going to block his number or whatever,
Yeah.
which I could do from my phone. So,
I think I need to have some more I need like a class on there. Like I try to put things in place,
yeah,
but then it's so confusing
it becomes overwhelming
and
too.
it's overwhelming. So I need like to sit down with you and just put all the things in place
Well, the hard part about the app that we use for
because we've had an
the
app that
parenting
was hard.
is if you don't have the home device,
That's why.
you can have the apps and then it's got to like back up to a computer unless you have the Bark home device, which
That's what
just
we don't
plugs
have.
into your internet. And if it plugs into the internet, then you don't have to worry about it backing up to a computer all the time.
That's
Which
cool.
at first we used to always have to keep a computer on with our oldest
Mhm.
daughter, Ty. And we did, but then it got to be this thing where we didn't have that computer anymore
Mhm.
with Kaysen. And so I said, there's got to be a workaround. There's got to be a workaround. And so then I think they figured that out too because they came up with that
Mhm.
device. So it just plugs right into
I
your
think that's what we need.
router or
Mhm.
modem or something. And so every time they come in the house and it will back up even deleted stuff.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
I hope they're not listening. Once it's
Mhm.
deleted, it doesn't matter. You
Yeah.
can still see anything that's deleted.
Yeah.
So,
I think the problem we were having with Bark is it was like sending us so many notifications all of the
oh yeah,
time.
edit the sensitivity to it.
Oh, okay. I turned it
Change
off. So maybe try it again
You
and get that
just
home
change
device.
that to because yeah, we were getting the same thing, so it would be like bullying,
Yes. Yes.
and it was all these bullying things, and I would read the texts, and it
And
was
I'm
not
like,
bullying. It was
no.
just like, "Bro, shut up," or
And I don't have
whatever.
time. Like I don't
Yeah.
have time to
Yeah,
go read
see?
every single text and watch
Yeah.
these YouTubes and the songs. So
You just choose what you want it to alert you on.
okay.
So I think like for us, it was always suicidal
Mhm.
ideations. I always wanted to know if it was a friend or themselves feeling that way. So depressed and
Mhm.
those types of things, sexual content, if they were talking about that in a text message or anything like that, watching, which I have most of that blocked on their phones
Yeah.
anyways. Kaysen watches a lot of YouTube videos that
Mhm.
are about the video games that he plays. And
Yeah.
so that would be like notification, violence
Yes.
detected.
Yes. Over and
And
over.
it was because of a subscription. So he may not have even actually watched the video, but he
Right.
was subscribed to
Mhm.
the channel.
Yep.
And so I had to fix that one too.
And that's how you can turn the internet off their phone. I was wondering how you did that.
No, I can turn the Wi-Fi off from their phone because I have screen time settings.
Oh, yeah, screen time
So
too. Yeah.
they have a
They have that.
bedtime, so everything goes down, but I also turn their internet off from my internet app. You can do it with
Oh.
the Bark app as well, but I also can just go into my in my home
Mhm.
and just pause everything, even the TVs.
Oh, wow.
Pause everything in the
I have
house,
to see if I can do that.
my internet.
We have Starlink, so I don't know if I can do that or not, but surely, probably
Mine
something.
mine is Spectrum. I mean, it was great when we first got it. Now everybody has it, so it's not as fast
Yeah.
as it once was, but I do like that I can pause every device in the house if I want to.
Yeah, that's great. This is really great for probably a lot of parents that
And
are
then
in
they
the
can't
same boats as us.
Jason can't even use his PC. He can't use
Yeah,
his
that's
X or
awesome.
his PlayStation. Daxon can't use the Xbox if I don't want him to. The Oculus, anything you want to pause from using the internet that would,
Yeah.
which if it takes the internet most of the time, it's going to be
Right.
useless to them. The phone is a little different because you can still work on cellular service, but then you just control that with the
Yeah.
downtime
Yeah. We have
setting.
those set.
So
Good to
yeah,
know. Okay.
yeah,
I'm gonna try it. Get the little home device. Bark.
bark. Yeah, I fully recommend it. However, I will admit it becomes overwhelming if you're the only parent that is keeping up with it.
Yeah.
There was a point where I had to tell Gary, I need your help. I can't be the only one looking into this and focusing on it. I
It's
don't
just too
have
much.
the mental capacity. My decision fatigue is too high and my mental load is too high. So I just need to use a
Yes.
help
Yes.
care about it. It was the same way with our Life 360 when it,
Yes.
especially with Kason driving now, we always had it when Ty was driving, and especially when she went off to college, I said, "Don't turn this off because I need to know you're safe."
Mm-hmm.
It's like my anxiety needs to know you're safe. You have to help me with this. You have
Right.
to like track what time did he actually leave the restaurant? Where
Right.
did he go? Like, I can't just be the only one, and I'm not doing it to be controlling. I'm doing it to keep them safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I had that conversation with Nyla Faith the other
Mm.
day. We don't allow sleepovers unless it's people we know really well, like you guys.
Right.
And she wanted to go stay at a friend's house from school that we don't know the friend and we don't
Mm-hmm.
know the parents. And I just said, sorry, no.
Yeah.
Well, why? Well,
Yeah.
because sometimes parents have to make decisions that are best for their kids. And
Right.
so she sent me this long text message. I just want to feel like you trust me. And then she wrote a long letter. And I'm sorry, there are certain rules that I do not
It's hard.
break, and
Yeah.
sleepovers, I just can't. I did allow them at one point, and it was with someone I trust, but then someone who was not trusted was also allowed to come over, and she had them watching music videos and singing. And at the time, listen, it was Britney Spears. It's not the worst thing in the world. I'm a
Sure.
big Britney fan, but there was a recording of my daughter saying the beginning words of that song. It's Britney
Mm.
and the B word.
Yeah. You're like,
No, ma'am.
no.
That's not who we are. And so that's not why I got more strict on
Sure.
sleepovers. I kind of got more strict just the more I learn.
Yeah.
You learn about the,
Well, more things happen now.
yeah.
I mean, it's just, yeah, you can't trust a lot of people,
So she doesn't get
and you
it.
guys gotta keep them safe. And they're not gonna get it at this
I
point. They're just not.
also will not allow sleepovers at my house. The fact that we have two boys.
Mm.
And so I can't let your friend that's a girl, that's a teenager, come over and spend the night. What if she has a crush on your older brother? And your older brother doesn't reciprocate,
Yeah.
and then she wants to go and say something, that's now I got to protect my son, right? Or whatever that looks like. I'm not willing to take the chance that anything could happen while I'm actually asleep because I don't want to stay up all night.
Right.
And so if I don't know the parents and the children really, really well, which there is very few that is the case, then we're not doing it.
I think it's smart. We have to be our kids' advocates, even when they don't understand, even when they're not like, I don't understand. All my other friends get to do this. Well,
And that's what
I'm
she
not all
said.
your other friends' mom.
She told me that.
That's what I say all the time.
That's what I said. And I said, Nyla Faith, I'm sorry you feel like I don't trust you. It's not you that I don't trust, but
Yeah.
I don't know how this friend's parents parent. I don't know what they're allowed to do when their parents are asleep. I don't
Mhm.
know what they have access to. I don't know what you would have access to over there.
Right.
Because her first response was, before you say anything, she doesn't have any brothers,
Yeah.
and her dad works overnight. So it'll just be her mom.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't change the fact that just her mom might not care
Right.
what her daughter watches on TV
Mhm.
and I'm protecting you.
Mhm.
And she said, but you just don't trust. I do trust you, but I also know that you're young and your brain isn't fully developed and the maturity level isn't there. So you are very susceptible to
Yeah.
temptation of the world, as every human is.
Yep.
And so I'm not going to take the risk.
Yeah. And one day I'm hoping that our kids come back because I've already done this so many times to my parents. Like when Ella has done things and I text my mom and like, I understand now. I understand now why you got so frustrated when I did this, how I drove you crazy. It's like, hopefully one day they're going to come back to us and say, thank you for not allowing this A, B, C, D, or now I understand why, or everybody that's older says it happens. So
It does. Well, and also my mom always used to tell me, I hope you have a daughter that's just as bad. And by bad, she meant like sassy. I was a good kid, but I had an attitude.
Mm.
And so I definitely got that with Nyla Faith. Nyla Faith is literally just like me with her
Mhm.
attitude. But I also learned that the way I parent is a lot different than the way my parents
Mhm.
parented because not that they didn't do a good job,
Right.
they just didn't know. And so they had no idea that when they didn't care that I was in the room while they were watching whatever TV
Right.
shows they were watching, that maybe the unsolved mysteries that they let me I was allowed to watch when I was too
Right.
young was creating anxiety in me.
Yeah. That's so true.
Or, they were watching movies or stuff that not explicit, not super explicit, but still enough to see a little glimpse that
Mhm.
created a curiosity and
Mhm.
made me wonder and interested way younger than I probably would have been interested
Right.
just because I saw it. And not that I was interested in a way of doing anything, but more interested along the lines of, so this is a thing.
Yeah, you get curious about it, especially
Mhm.
at that age. It's something that's so foreign, you're like, "This is actually a thing."
Yeah.
So now I wanna know more about it. That's so human nature,
Right. And
you
so
know?
that's also why we've never watched any shows unless it's like a game show or a family comedy or
Yeah.
something with our kids in the room, no matter what. Have certain shows that are not kid friendly because maybe they're like cop shows or, some
Right.
violence or whatever. And because of I was allowed to watch that and I don't know if that's what caused my anxiety as a
Right.
kid. I have no clue. We're not watching it if they're downstairs or whatever.
Yeah. You can watch it in your room or
We wait till it's bedtime and we'll watch it at night or whatever in our room because I don't know, and I just learned that hindsight's 2020.
Mhm.
I saw those things in myself after my parents allowed things.
Mhm.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I think that reminds me a lot of also just in that realm, but also for like a flip side for me, seeing things that were not good
Mhm.
growing up, with my biological mom and dad and just will trigger me a lot
Mm.
to this day. Things that I knew it weren't right, like, I don't know, drinking every single night
Yeah.
or something, like having a drink every night, and I realized that that's not normal eventually.
Yeah.
And so that kind of thing would trigger me. There was a period of time where Matt was like having just like a little glass of Crown and Coke every night and very short period of time
Yeah.
because I got so triggered by that because of what I saw,
Right.
because of what I experienced that I had to have a conversation with him like you can't do this. And I was so traumatized. Like I was going down the rabbit trail. Now you're an alcoholic because you're having it
Oh,
every single
no.
night, one cup, one little glass. This is not normal. You're gonna be in depression. What happens if you like the kids see you? The kids are gonna see this now. They're gonna think it's okay. And da 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 da. I remember being in the car with my dad. Like he was definitely drunk, my
Oh,
biological dad,
yeah.
and being scared to death. And like having to watch him the whole time because I was so scared. So all of those things are gonna come back. They all come back.
They do.
And so my husband was very attentive to what I said. And he was like, oh my gosh, you're right. Like, absolutely doesn't even come close, doesn't do that at all anymore. But it's something that triggered me from my past.
Right.
And it can always come back around
Yeah.
in a
Well,
scary way.
and you were doing it probably for your own trigger, but also
Hmm.
because you didn't want the kids to see it
Exactly.
because you knew what you saw and what that made
Exactly.
you feel.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the same with me in TV shows or
Yeah.
whatever
It's
it
same.
is. Not that my parents, I don't ever want them to, well, my mom's not here anymore, but I would never
Sure.
want my dad to feel like he didn't raise me well or that I
No.
didn't love them and they were great parents. I just learned from
Hmm.
things that they did and I'm going to do differently. When you know
Exactly.
better, you do better. And that goes with every single aspect of.
Ever.
And so there were things I didn't know better about with my 24-year-old
Hmm.
that I definitely know better about with my 11-year-old.
Right.
And so it's all constantly
It is. And
changing.
that's all my dad knew,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because of the way he was raised a lot of the time. So it's like, it's that generational thing that they just typically just don't know.
Right.
And thank God
There will be things that
he's
our
better
kids
today.
think about us too. I'm
Yeah,
sure
absolutely. Oh my gosh, 100%.
they'll be raising their kids saying, my
Yeah.
mom did this and I'm
Yeah.
not allowed
I've
to.
told my kids I'll pay for your counseling
Yeah.
when you're older
Like,
because I know there's something I've screwed you up on.
it's inevitable.
Yeah.
It's inevitable.
Just send me the bill.
right.
As long as you go and take care of yourself, send me
Right.
the bill because I'm sure I did something wrong.
I did something wrong. I don't even talk to my parents about my counseling.
Yeah.
I don't want them to know
Mhm.
what happened. A lot of my anxiety, not that it was bad. I feel like it sounds like it's bad. It's not. It was typical childhood
No,
things.
it's just
But
normal.
from my perception growing up, my parents had to focus on my older sister because she wasn't always making the best choices.
Right.
She wasn't always surrounding herself with the best friends. And I actually just had this conversation with her the other day, but so in my view, she's messing up, making mistakes, getting in trouble, and they're stressed.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to be adding to that. And so I think to myself, I gotta make all the right choices, be
Mhm.
the right thing, be
Mhm.
perfect, make the good grades so that, well, one of two things, that I'm not adding stress to their plate or so that they can tell me what a great job I'm doing.
Mhm.
And so they
Yeah.
would tell me, you're doing a great job. Thank you for, being good in school and not
Mhm.
making the same mistakes your sister's making. What I didn't know was that it was doing the opposite thing to my sister. Because we just had this conversation. I'm doing all these things to people please
Mhm.
and not make the same mistake as her, but she's seeing them praise me for doing good and she's just getting negative attention. And so she feels like I'm their favorite and
Yeah.
that nothing she can do is ever going to be good enough or right. And so she's just going to continue doing all those bad things because at least she's getting something.
Yeah. That's exactly how my sister and I were.
Yeah.
Still, she always says, "You were the favorite one."
Mm-hmm.
It's literally exact. I was exactly like you. She
Yeah.
was exactly like your sister.
And it's not true. I'm sure I
No.
wasn't the favorite and you weren't either.
Right.
And we all have our own view and perception, and our perception is our reality.
Mhm.
So it's not that either of us are right or wrong because
Yeah.
our feelings are what they are. We feel what we feel. But I know there's some of that with my own kids.
Yeah. Absolutely. I was just thinking that.
And so I don't know how to combat it. I don't know how to fix it. I just know that when they bring it to me now, I will talk to them about it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Daxton is not my favorite kid. Nyla Faith thinks that he is. He is the baby of the family.
Right.
That is the only thing that is
They all think Hayden's a
true
favorite because he's the baby.
because he's the baby. It's just not true. I don't have a favorite kid.
We can't. Can't have a
No.
favorite kid.
And at one point, Nyla Faith was my little tiny
I
princess.
know.
And so I did everything to protect her and give her all of the attention and dote on her. And I'm like, how could you ever feel like
They
you,
didn't get to see all that though.
no,
Like, they didn't see all that.
well, Kaysen and Ty
Jason,
did,
yeah, I guess you're right.
but Nyla Faith doesn't remember it and Daxton
Mm-mm.
doesn't remember it. But I don't have favorites. We don't have favorites.
Oh, we can't have
I
favorites.
mean, maybe by the day.
Yeah.
Today, you're my favorite because you're
Yeah.
behaving the best.
I told Grayson we were shopping the other day because he was just so sweet. We went shopping and he was just so kind to just laugh with me. And I said, "This is why you're my favorite." He's like, "No, I'm not. Hayden is." I'm like,
Aw.
"Well, right now you are."
Hayden's just the baby. They'll understand when they become parents.
I know,
It's
they
not
will.
a favorite.
It's
There's just
not.
when it's your last one,
Yes,
you
it's your
come
last
to the
one,
realization.
especially since what he's been through, even more like
Yeah.
that.
Well, we don't have favorites, guys. If you're
Nope.
listening to this,
Do you not have favorites?
we don't have favorites. We love you all equally.
Even if you don't believe us, it's fine.
Even if you don't believe us. Back to the whole parenting, learning from your parents. The other thing that I wanted to touch on, because this is kind of taboo, when you were talking about you watched your parents drink all the time or every night, whatever, and that wasn't normal to you. I never tell my kids, other than like dangerous drugs, I never tell my kids not to do anything.
Yeah.
I don't. So cuss words aren't cuss words in our house.
Mhm.
They are grown up words.
Mhm.
Because, or should I say, they're not bad words. Yes,
Right.
they are bad and we don't want to use them. But I've always told my kids it's a grown up word. We're not going to, who decided what word is bad? How is but any better than the A word?
Right.
How is shoot any better than the other S word?
Yeah.
They all mean the same thing,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
So we're just going to use our words to be kind and uplifting to people.
Yeah.
We're not going to say mean, hateful things. And a cuss word is not necessarily bad if
Mhm.
you're using it. Like if you're saying you're going to hell
Right.
based on not believing in Jesus, hell
Right.
isn't a bad word in that aspect.
Yeah.
But if you're using it in a different context,
Right.
it's all about
It's all about how
context.
you give
And
power
so
to it
I've
too.
taught that to my children. I don't let my kids go around saying these grown-up
Absolutely
words
not.
at
Yeah.
all. Matter of fact, if I hear one,
Mhm. We don't
Don't
even
let-
wanna go there. Yeah, for sure. You're hearing them. You just like, we're not talking like that. You still have to hold it to a standard.
yes. So when it comes to alcohol, I've never told them alcohol is bad.
Right. Right.
I don't want to give them a reason to want to try something.
Right.
Kids always want to push the boundaries. And so with my oldest two, Ty and Kason, I would say probably high school,
Yeah.
they would want to taste something.
Might taste it.
I
You're
would
not gonna
always-
like it.
I would always allow them to take a little sip and have a
Mhm.
taste, not a drink, for clarity purposes. It would be a little sip, and every single time they wouldn't like it. And so so far, Kason is 18, Ty is 24. Ty's old enough to have a drink now, and she does, but neither of them were interested in that.
Right.
In high school,
Mhm.
Kason's still in high school, but that's never been something he's ever cared about.
Yep.
Because it wasn't off limits. It wasn't forbidden. It wasn't
Right.
this thing that you can't do it and
Exactly.
you can't be around it. I never wanted it to be something that that piqued their curiosity. What is so bad about
Yes,
this? What
yes.
is? I've just always been very like, listen, it's not good.
Right.
You're not gonna like it
Right.
or whatever. It's an acquired taste,
Right.
that sort of stuff. And so because of that, I think it worked with them. We'll find out if it works with
Yeah.
the younger 2 or
That's
not.
kinda how we've been with it as I've
But
gotten
it's very
older.
taboo. Some people will look at me crazy when if I'm,
Mhm.
letting my teenager have a sip of
Yeah.
whatever wine or
Yeah.
whatever
I
it
think it's all
is.
how we've raised our children.
Yeah.
They know. They know, and so they watch us. It's just like it's our actions are so much stronger than our words do.
Well, and I think that even going back to my sister and I, my parents forbid a lot of stuff from her. And so that made her wanna do it. Well,
Yeah.
they probably learned from her
Yeah.
because they didn't forbid me from
Right.
a lot of those same things. We have almost 4 years between us, 3 and a half-ish, and so they parented me different, which
Yep.
is also added to her feeling like,
It's so normal for all those who have multiple kids that are years apart. You're not gonna parent them the same.
"No,
So don't even try.
no." I've had to explain that to
Yeah.
my oldest daughter. She'll be, like, telling Kaysen, our 18-year-old, "Do you know what would have happened to me if I would have said that, or if I would have done that, or if I would have come home and not done my chores?"
The amount of time I said that to my parents,
Yeah.
especially the younger siblings. I
Yeah.
get it.
And here's the thing, you pick your battles.
Yep.
Some things you just have to let go, and you don't know that
You
with the
don't.
oldest when
You
you're
don't.
doing it the first time. Sometimes you don't know it when you're doing it the second time.
Nope. You know what the heck you're doing. And every kid's so stinking different too.
And by the time you have 4, you're just at this
Yeah.
point, I'm
It's
just
not gonna kill you. It's
surviving.
not gonna hurt you. It's fine.
It's fine. You've gotta roll with the punches, and I think for personalities like us, where we're highly anxious, very controlling, we're control freaks
Yep.
about certain things. The more you do, the more you have
Yes.
as children, and the more you have to do going on with them, you have to learn to just let some things go.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the older ones are not the ones that get to see things like, "Oh, but they were picked to be the older ones for a
That's right.
reason. The
That's
Lord
right.
knew that they needed to learn whatever it was that they were gonna learn by being the oldest."
They say birthright, what is it? Birth
Order?
order truly is a thing. And they have like the oldest have certain personality. I'm the oldest, Ella's oldest, very much alike. Like you can look at families where they are in birth order, and it's usually spot on.
Yeah.
So I think that's interesting.
I'm the youngest. I don't know what that means.
The youngest is like you got away with more probably too. And
I
like,
did for sure, but I
yeah,
also wasn't the bad one.
yeah. I think it's different maybe when you have two kids too. There's
Well,
only
we
two of
had
you.
my brother
Oh,
too.
your brother too. That's right.
So technically he was adopted when
Mhm.
I was in fourth or fifth grade out of foster care. But he was also like my sister, like
Yeah.
a hot mess and a problem kid. So that only perpetuated whatever.
Yeah.
And so yes, my parents allowed me to do a lot more and I got away with a lot more, but I never lied or snuck around or
No.
tried to
Because
do
you
any of
saw
that.
what had happened to
Right.
them probably too.
I mean, I was in a small town, and so just being 100%
Mhm.
completely transparent. If I wanted to go to a party, I'm go to a party and I'm just telling my mom, "This is the party I wanna go to. It's at this person's house. I'll be home at this time," or
Yeah.
whatever. "I'll be home by curfew," or whatever. And I think they respected that, and they knew that I
Mhm.
was
Right.
responsible and was gonna make good choices for the most part,
Yeah.
and they knew that controlling my sister didn't work very
Mhm.
well because she just found a way around everything anyhow,
Mhm.
and so they
Mhm.
didn't do that with me.
Yeah. I was always just too afraid to get in trouble. I didn't do nothing.
I'm kind of, like, afraid to get in trouble now, but I don't know why I did some of the stuff that I did do in high school, going to I mean, that's all there was to do in my
Yeah.
tiny little
Yeah. It was
towns.
tiny.
We didn't even have a movie theater, you guys. We didn't have
That's so
anything.
bad.
We had s okay, my first tiny town in Colorado, we didn't even have, a Walmart or a grocery
Oh my
store,
god.
or
Not even a Walmart.
no, we had 1 fast food restaurant, Carl's Jr., and a small grocery store called Superfoods,
Mhm. Mhm.
a couple of bars on Main Street. We had a bowling alley,
Okay.
but I mean, there was nothing to do. Literally, no,
That's just good
lots
old
of,
small
and
town.
it's country, so there's
Mhm.
lots of land. You'd have a bonfire. There was nothing to do.
Yep.
Same with my small town in Texas. We did have a little Walmart, not the super
Yeah.
Walmart, the small Walmart.
No Dollar Generals.
I don't know if we had Dollar General, but we had a couple more fast food restaurants. It was a little bit bigger, but still, we were in South Texas, country,
Yep.
small town. Nothing like where we live now, where
Yeah.
there's
All the
endless
things.
things.
Heck, Matt lived out here, but now out here, when he lived out here, it was nothing.
Yeah,
So it was like that.
yeah.
Like small town, all kinds of just parties and things to do. Now
Bonfires
it's
were the best
yes.
part of living in
Yeah.
a small town. You
Yeah.
just lit a fire and hung out, and
Yeah.
talked,
Yep.
music. We didn't have Bluetooth speakers, so you would blare the cars, whatever car
Put the
was on,
the lights
the
on.
headlights
The
on,
headlights on. You got your
and yeah, that's what it
Yep.
was.
So great.
But
Man.
those were the times back then.
They
I
were.
didn't have to worry about that with my kids because
We
we
didn't
did
have
not
social
live. Nope.
media.
Oh,
There was no texting.
I'm glad we didn't have social
Me
media.
too. Me too.
But also at the same times, I kind of wish we did, just to be, or at least a camera
Mhm.
that could record things, because it'd be kind of funny
I
to
know.
show our kids this is what our fun looked like back in
Literally,
the
they'd be
day.
like, "That's fun."
To us, it
Really?
was. I couldn't probably get my kids to just sit around a bonfire listening to music with no device
No,
right
they
now.
get too bored.
What would they even do?
I don't know.
We should do a bonfire.
Yeah, we definitely got some bonfire stuff out here.
We
So
should do that, like, just for fun.
Yeah.
Because I think it's fun. Roast some marshmallows,
they love it when we
listen
do
to
it out here.
music, and just hang out
Mhm.
when it's warm.
Yeah.
And make my kids come.
That sounds good to me.
Let's plan that.
Okay. We don't want it to be too warm. That's too hot. It's not
No,
fun.
not super
It's gotta be
hot.
like kind of cool.
Like the way
70s.
it's been lately.
Yes.
So
yes.
soon, preferably soon.
Yeah.
I
That'd be
want to
s-
do that.
Let's do it. Let's plan it.
Let's plan
Friday
it.
night when we're off or something.
Yeah, we're not gonna have a Friday night off together for a couple weeks.
I know.
You'll be out of town this coming Friday.
Mhm.
Volleyball.
Volleyball.
I don't know what I'm gonna do without my little
I know.
bestie.
I was like, just let you know, I'm not going to be there Thursday through Monday. I need you to prepare
Boo.
yourself.
It's like when I tell my husband that he's like my extra energy and pep in my step when he comes to
Yes.
church on the weekend and he's there for more than one service. That's what you are
Yep.
during the week.
That's what you are too. I know. I'm like,
Me.
what? This is not right.
Let's
You're
just
ever not there and I'm
hang
there.
I got to get my vacation plan. I don't know when I'm going to do it because I need to do something.
Mhm. Yeah, you do.
We
Get
gotta
a plan. Get on the calendar.
Get it on the calendar. I just don't know. It's got to be in June. I know it'll be in June. So
Yeah.
we'll probably have 2 weeks in June where we're not.
Yeah. Probably have to go like back to back.
We're
probably.
not working with each other.
Mhm. We'll be okay. It's
It'll
going to be
be
okay.
so
It's going to be
sad.
fine. It's going to be fine.
Find yourself a bestie like.
Yes. Find yourself a bestie like Helen. I don't think we've ever said this before, but we have to talk about it, that both of our names are old lady names.
They are.
We've never talked about it before on here.
We've never talked about it, but we have put it on our get to
Yes.
know us.
Yeah.
Like things about us that are funny.
Everybody's looking for us. We're like, just find the ones with the old lady names.
The
That's
old
us.
lady name, Helen and Barbara. We're not 80.
We're not,
We're way cooler than
but we
80.
sure have names like we are.
We do. And it's so funny because if I talk about you to somebody who doesn't know you, they almost always will make the comment, oh, Helen and Barbara. We're the Golden Girls.
I always say, my name is Barbara. I was named after my grandma.
I was also named after my grandma.
That's where the name came from.
I was named after both of my grandmas. At least your middle name isn't as bad as mine, which
Mine's very country, though. Anytime anybody asks me my name, they can already guess my little name, and then they say it with a twang. Barbara Ann.
I was going to do it, but you
Barbara Ann. They're like, what's your middle name? I'm like, just guess.
Baba,
Yeah, band that song.
Barbara Ann.
Barbara Ann. My dad would always call me Barbara Ann. He's the only one who did.
I'm Helen Francis.
Yeah.
To be fair,
Double whammies right there.
listen, I have grown to appreciate
Yeah.
the name. I was supposed to be a boy back then. They didn't have sonograms. And so they told my parents, based on my heart rate being high, that I was going to be a boy. Now that has switched. Now a higher heart
Yeah.
rate in the womb is a girl. But back then,
So is your name going to be Francis?
no. My name was going to be Justin Russell.
Oh,
after,
totally different.
After my dad's brother,
Okay.
whose name is Justin, and then my dad's middle name is Russell. And so I was going to be Justin Russell. When I came out a girl, they did not have a name pick.
Oh, okay.
And so my mom's mom was Helen. My dad's mom was Francis.
Yeah.
So that's how I got Helen Francis. My dad's mom passed away when I was 2. So I literally have one memory of her. But because of my name, I've always not liked it because I
Yeah.
feel like it's an old lady, but I always feel really bad saying it because my dad loved his mom.
Yeah.
And it's nothing against my dad's mom, but
No.
like being a young girl with the middle name Francis, you can
Right.
imagine. And at one point I wanted to change my name because my mom had a falling out with her mom.
Mhm.
And I said, well, I shouldn't have to be named after her then. And so they were going to let me change my name, but they were only going to let me change it to be called Frankie,
Oh my gosh.
which was also Francis.
Yeah.
And I said, nope,
Nope.
never mind.
Mm-mm.
We'll keep Helen,
Yeah, that's not Frankie.
not Frankie.
No. Oof. Well, at the end, we always ask about your God moment. So where's your God moment this week?
Yeah, let's see. I think my God moment has been just God showing up this week to give me everything I needed. The chaos
Mm-hmm.
of what we experienced Easter week has been hard in a sense that we run hard. We got a
Mhm.
lot to do, but I found myself praying every day, just asking the Lord, just give me what I need to get through. And
Mhm.
he did that.
Yeah.
I got through all of it, did my to-do list, had energy to spare to with my family every
Mhm.
night, even was able to do some little impromptu things that normally on a normal week that's
Mhm.
not Easter week, I would probably be too tired to do.
Yeah.
Wednesday, Nyla Faith texted me on my way home and said, "Can we go to Marshall's?" And normally I'm too tired after
Yeah.
a 45-minute drive in traffic. I don't live 45 minutes away, but traffic can make
It
it.
takes that long.
I think that day it was actually an hour because traffic was so bad. So normally I sit in traffic and I'm too exhausted from sitting in traffic to do anything when I get
Mhm.
home. But she texted me and said, "Can we go to Marshall's?" And I said, I didn't say anything until I was close. And I said, "Are you ready to go right now?
Mm.
Come out, get in the car."
Yeah.
Gary had to take Daxton to baseball. And so I just took her to Marshall's and Kason and Ty went to switch and we went to Marshall's and just spent some time together. And I had the energy to do that. And
So fun.
we found an outfit for Easter and for her. And we were just able to just spend time together.
Yeah.
And I just love that the Lord used those little moments to just show me that you ask and
Mhm.
I'll provide. And
Yeah.
I
So
asked for that
good.
energy and stamina and endurance and all the things. And I had it. And I just love that about him, how gracious he is, because I'm going to need it again this weekend.
Mhm. Yep, he'll give it to us
He
for
sure
sure.
will. I mean, we already had services last
Mhm.
night. It went really, really well. So
Mhm. Yep.
we'll see
So
what
good.
tonight brings. What about you? What was your God moment?
So similar to yours. I took Grayson. I needed to go look at just some stuff. Marshalls again.
Yeah.
We just love Marshalls around here. And he was like, I was like, "Do you wanna go with me?" He's like, "Yeah." And I was like, kinda shocked, honestly. And so we went and we just had the best time. He was just so funny and just followed me around the car.
Mhm.
And I got Starbucks for us. He was like, "I didn't even ask this time." I said, "Yeah, typically if you don't ask, I'm more apt to ask if you
Right.
want it." But I would go in the dressing room and come back out and he'd be like, no. Or he'd be like, "Oh, I like that
Yeah,
one."
no.
Or it was just so sweet. Like just
Providing
so sweet.
God providing that moment for you.
Yes, yes. It was
Grayson
really good.
Jason is your sweet,
Yes.
kind. He gives me Daxton vibes.
Yes.
Like I say Daxton vibes because I'm around him all the time.
Mhm.
Daxton has got a big old heart. He'll give
Yeah,
random hugs.
he is.
He'll randomly hear me saying something about myself that's not kind, you know, and he'll tell me, "Mom, you're beautiful."
Yeah. Yeah,
And I get that same thing from
he
Grayson.
is. And the older he gets, the more fun he is, the more funny he is.
Mhm.
He's, like, coming into himself and is pretty confident now,
Yeah.
and he's just so sweet to me.
He's sweet to me.
Yeah, he is.
He's so sweet to me, and I just love it.
Yeah, I just love this season right now with him.
That's so fun.
So, yeah.
That's great.
Yep.
Well, if you have not followed us yet on Instagram,
Mm.
Facebook, or TikTok, or subscribed on Spotify or
Or
Apple
Yep.
Podcasts or YouTube,
Yep.
please do so. We would also love if you could give us a rating, a
Mhm.
5-star rating, and leave a review. That'll just help this get pushed out to more people that
That's
could
right.
use it. So yeah, we'll
Yeah, share it too.
share.
Share. That's the best way to get it out there to other moms and women who just need some good, raw truth and some fun topics.
Yeah.
So make sure you share it too.
We always try really hard to be relatable.
Yeah. People tell us that. So hopefully that's all
Hopefully
true.
it's working.
Yeah. But thanks for hanging out with us on Call to Chaos.
And if this episode made you laugh,
or it made you feel just a little bit less alone,
share it with a friend who's also living in the chaos.
we will talk to you next time.
Bye,
Bye, guys.
friends.